O hidden, O hidden love, embracing all in oneness, may each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Welcome you once again. Today we have Professor C.A. Sindhe with us, who will be taking today's session on chronological letter number 111, Old Mahatma letter number 59. Professor Sindhe needs no introduction because he is very much familiar with the Theosophical circle. He is a very learned and experienced person. Professor Sindhe is a retired zoology professor who worked at Sangli and Pune for 37 years. He is the author of 10 textbooks of zoology for undergraduate students. He has been a life member of Theosophical Society and rendering his services to TS since 1975. He served Marathi Theosophical Federation as president for 2 terms. He has conducted seminars, schools of wisdom, workers training camp, study class at various places throughout India as a national lecturer and also international speaker. He has written many articles which are published in the Theosophical uh, Indian Theosophist, the Theosophist, Wake of India, and many other federation journals. He has given many short talks and participated in international symposium during convention at IDR. Professor Sindhe has compiled the Watchtower articles of Mrs. Radha Barneur, which is published as a book titled The World Around Us. He has also worked in various activities and also the librarian of the Adair Library and Research Center, and also worked as the head of the editorial office. He is also participating in various TS and ES activities of Adair, General Council member and EC member, and attended meeting at Narbin. As an international speaker, he has also visited Sri Lanka and Crotona. With this brief introduction, now I welcome Professor Sindheji to start the session.
Thank you very much, Sister Purnamasi. We'll begin with this chronological letter number 111 with the prayer to the masters of the wisdom. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. This prayer is important because without the help of the masters of the wisdom, we can't have the clear vision. And without clear vision, we don't come to understand what the master wants to convey through their letters. So this chronological letter, number 111, as Sister Purnamasi said, chronological number is 111, but Mahatma letter number is 59. It is actually a memorandum to AP Senate to take care about the development of what you are understanding and conveying to the people. Especially, masters had impressions of about the demands of A.O. Hume. And it was impossible for them to satisfy his demands. And therefore, this memorandum has sent to AP Senate. And also, take the advice of H.P. Blavatsky. This letter was written on June 6 in 1883 but received after 1 month at London in July 1883. This is the background. One thing it is clear, it is a memorandum. When it is a memorandum, means some instructions which are very important to all of us, not only to AP Senate, but to all of us. And in that sense, this letter is important. I must thank Pradeep Mahapatra to allot me this letter. In this letter, as it is memorandum, Master KH says it could be shared with the London members. The Mahatma identifies himself and expressing his distress over the sad condition in which India has fallen from spiritual point of view. He speaks of the moral and spiritual conditions of Indian people and the selfish baseness of human nature. Though he also commented that this situation of the passage of humanity through our stages of evolutionary cycles, considering all this, Master says, it is the same now as it was million years ago. In many letters also it is mentioned. So I think it is important we can ponder our own role in these times and the extent to which we can help to elevating the suffering of humanity. What is the task of tears in which we would so gladly assist? Think of it. We can assist invisibly, sending good thoughts. And how may we base it? Or we may give best and whatever it is within us to the whole humanity by passage of time in this Kali Yuga. Master Kate tells to the Senate that he has stepped outside our usual limits and your particular project of the newspaper. But evidently, Senate has published an unfortunate letter, probably in the Times of India, since that is where the disastrous effect which was felt. So although we do not know the letter contents, it must have reflected what the Madam or what the Mahatma here calls Senate's English prejudice and the sinful antipathy towards our race and color. So it is more to the all of us as a memorandum, how we take these hints which are given in these letters. Let us read this letter here now. You can project the first slide where they mention, I think Pradeep Mahapatra, or who will project? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You please project it. This the very letter begins with the next slide. Yes, you can see this. With it begins very beautiful words. With whatever shortcomings, my always indulgent Lechela may have to charge me, he will. It appears credit me with having given him a new source of enjoyment. For even the sombre prophecy of Sir Charles Turner, a recent obscuration of his, that you would fall into Roman Catholicism as the inevitable outcome of your dabbling in theosophy and believing in the KH, means Kutumi. Maya has not dampened the ardor of your propaganda in the grey world of London. If this zeal should be cited by altruistic Rotheny in support of his declaration that your grey vesicles are surcharged with Singashte, second largest city in Tibet. So this is telling us, especially some words are very important here. What hint he gives? We judge men by their motive and morals. And also, with these motives and morals, how they act and what is the effect of their action, we judge men, maybe chelas or whatever, how they are seeing to all us. Because the word false standard of prejudices, we have no respect. This is what Master says. Whatever your standard, we have no respect. We know your moral and motives and actions. So on that we used to judge. So whatever shortcomings, the very first sentence, whatever shortcomings may always indulge Lechela may have to charge me. So even if you are doing the mistakes, we are happy to see those mistakes because you are going on the line. It means masters are looking at the chelas who are preparing themselves, being fit to serve the masters of the wisdom. To serve the master of the wisdom means to serve the humanity, and they are taking pleasure of it. Even if you are indulging in some moral and wrong motives. Motives in the sense, sometimes negative motives, and sometimes our mistakes morally, even if they look at it with a broad sense. Here one more word is there, altruist of Rotheny. Rotheny is a castle, especially castle of Hume. And grey vesicles means fatty layers. Fatty layers means again it symbolizes the inertia. As the fatty layers are increasing, we become more and more fatty and our inertia increases. And one more Singashte, that is in the second slide you can project. One more thing we must remember, there are no secret to any kind of secret success. So what is the secret of the success? The secret of the success is our hard work and learning from failures and preparing ourselves day by day, purifying ourselves. Next, you can project now. Yes, here it is shown that Singashte, which is the Hume's hill, or so this Singashte Akkas, it will still doubtless be a balm to your wounded feelings to know that you are essentially able to build the bridge over which the British metaphysicians may come within the thinking distance of us. Here again, he is explaining, yes, whatever you are doing rightly, keep it on, and in due course, British metaphysicians may connect you and may come within the thinking distance of us. This is very important, which the Theosophical Society has achieved. The universal brotherhood may be in the beginning just an idea, but nowadays in this Kali Yuga, all over the world, we all are understanding how we are interconnected, interrelated, interdependent, and how this universal brotherhood is a foundation for the universal morality that we speak many times. This is what, that time it was very new to the European countries. So these British metaphysicians come within thinking distance of us. Nowadays, these are accepting the law of karma, law of reincarnation, and this universal brotherhood. So AP Senate has given this memorandum. Don't worry, you go on thinking whatever line you are thinking. So it is the custom among some good people to glance back at their life's path from the hillocks of time they annually surmount. So if my hope has not betrayed me, you must have been mentally comparing your present greatest pleasure and constant occupation with that which was so in the olden time when you threaded the streets of your metropolis where the houses are as if painted. So these are the very poetic words, but what is necessary is prayer. Prayer to become my chela was granted. What in one of the letters he says, your prayers, they become the means to grant you the chelaship. We are the agents of justice, not the unfeeling of a cruel God, who are base as you have been healed, as you have misused your talents, blind as you have been to the claims of gratitude, virtue, and equity. You have still in you the qualities of a good man, but they are dormant. Potentially we are masters, that is what we say. Those qualities are there. They are still dormant, Masters points out. But they are useful for the chelas. But how long your relations with us will continue depends alone upon yourself. You may struggle up out of the mire. So here, this mire, even in last chart we saw, the Maya or KH influence. So this letter, which we are studying, KH definitely seems to delight in using the metaphor and flowery language to express what could be said in relatively few words, especially the words which you are used. In the next slide, we can see very interesting words they have used. We can have second slide. Next slide. Slide number 3. Yes. It is said in Indian ink, and a day's sunshine is an event to remember. You have measured yourself against yourself and find the theosophist an Anak, morally as compared with the old man, the beau falchier. Is it not so? He asks here two words, Anak. Anak is a biblical character who fathered a race of giants. Giants were there, and who fathered the race of giants. And Bu Veslier is a man who charms women by dancing. So these two words he has used. And when we understand this, you have measured yourself against yourself and found the theosophist. And Anak means who fathered the race of giants, morally as compared with the old man who charms women by dancing. Is it not so? That is what he asked. Which means whatever we are telling, it is not for entertaining you. We are not dancing like to impress you, but we would like to share something which is essential in this Kali Yuga. Well, this is perhaps your reward. In the next para, he says, the beginning of it, the end you will realize in Devchan. When you realize this, whatever you are taking efforts, when you realize this, you will realize this in Devkhana or Devchan. When you are floating along in the circumambient ether, instead of the circumambulated British Channel, foggy, though that state may now appear to your mind's eye, then only will you see thyself by thyself. Then only you will see thyself by thyself. So, when we study this, what is this circumambulance and what this, the Mahatma's command of English is truly remarkable. And the contemporary reader may pause to enjoy the language of the letter as much as Senate must have on receiving it. Senate must have understood, but Senate's English was very good, and therefore he must have understood. But Mahatma's command over English is truly remarkable. That is what Master Maurya also told about the KH, because KH was having very nice command over English. And one more, here it is need to be explained that, for example, KH reminds senates of olden time when you threaded the street of your metropolis. What these words, threaded the streets of metropolis, these words, they give quite a different feeling when you walked the streets of London. So threaded means walked, and metropolis means London. So this gives a different meaning. So we have to read these and try to understand the meaning in between the lines. That is what instructions he gives. And further it is says, foggy though that state may now appear to your mind's eye, then only will you see thyself by thyself and learn the true meaning of Atmanam Atmana Pasya. This is very important quotation he has given from Vedantic concept. What it means, see the self by the self, which is given in Atma Bodha by Shankaracharya. And this is even in Viveka Chudamani. Shankaracharya explains this very nicely. He explains that the difference between stupid man and learned man and the difference and the spiritually realized man. So there are three stages he explained. Stupid man identifies himself with the body or personality. Learned man identifies himself with the personality and the soul-body complex. He identified with the soul-body complex, and realized man with his discriminative power looks upon eternal Atman. It is just like Prajnanam Brahma is a statement in Vedanta. Prajnanam Brahma. So what is this Atman? Atmanam Atmana Pasya Prajnanam Brahma means intuitive perception leads to that. Otherwise, he says, circumambiguous channel, foggy, means you are still under the influence of the London foggy atmosphere unless you go deeper into yourself. He said circumference, imbued, all that. Very important information is given. Next slide we go, because we have to finish this with very large. Further, he says, to know itself even as a shining light requires no light to make itself perceived of the great Vedanta philosophy. So we see in the light of soul, we can see the soul. What is that light of soul? It is a hidden light. With that hidden light shining, we perceive of the great Vedanta philosophy. It is not that which light we speak, which light it is a different light, and therefore it is called a hidden light. Again, and once more, an attempt has been made to dispel some of the great mist that I find in Mr. Massey's Devkhan. It will appear as a contribution to the August number of the Theosophist, and to that I shall refer Mr. Massey and yourself. Here, Esoteric Buddhism, A.P. Sinnett's book was published, and he explained about the Devchan, etc. And the people like Massey, they read that one and they opposed it. They were published in the Theosophist, and many, as I said, Massey and yourself. Further, Master explains, quite possibly even then, the obscuration will not be removed, and it may be thought that the intended explanation is nothing of the kind, and that this article on Devchan, published in the Theosophist, and to explain this, what happens in Devchan, etc., it is interesting. 3 replies from the 3 different sources have come to make it clear. We can deal with it later on in the last of this letter. So let us go further. Next slide, number 5. So this says, instead of winding the clock, a clumsy hand has but broken out some cogs. Cogs means, this cogs refers to the complex gears within the mechanical clock. So instead of winding the clock, a clumsy hand has but broken out some cogs. What we have to do, if there is some complex gears within the mechanical clock, then we must make them clear first, and then we can wind the clock, which means there are some number of cogs or impurities within us. We must remove them first, purify yourself, and then you have to think more about the Devkan, etc. Further, he says, this is our misfortune. And I doubt if we shall ever get quite free of these obscurities and alleged contradictions, since there is no way to bring the askers and respondents face to face. Yes, nobody knows what is in Swarga, what is in Devastana. But we are very eager to know, we are very eager to discuss as if we are experienced that one. So this is our misfortune, and I doubt if we shall ever get quite free of these obscurations and alleged contradictions, since there is no way to bring the askers and respondents face to face. Still, at the worst, it must be considered that there is some satisfaction in the fact that there is now a ford across this river, and you are building spans for a royal bridge. It is quite right that you should baptize yourself, new brain babe, with the waters of hope and within the limits of possibilities. So whatever right efforts you are doing, keep it on doing, and that efforts definitely make a bridge between, and he says it is a royal bridge. It is quite right that you should baptize yourself. So with this, yes, your efforts, right efforts, you are baptizing, means cleaning yourselves, purifying yourself. Yeah, especially your brain, which is a babe brain. Brain is still need to be, what we can say, matured with waters of hope and within the limits of possibilities. Means there are certain possibilities and also there are limitations. So whatever limitations are there, within that limitations, whatever possibilities are there, have hope on it and continue. That is what it is said in this. And we will go next. So the next sixth slide, what happens by this right effort? By it, a further and very sensible impulse will be imparted to the present moment. But friend, even the green cheese of the shining moon is periodically launched upon by planet Rahu. So don't think yourself altogether above the contingency of popular fickleness that would put out your light in favor of some new man's farthing dip. The culture of society more often inclines to lawn tennis philosophy than to that of the banned adepts whose wider game has worlds for balls and etheric space for its shaven lawn. See, a very poetic word he has used. So green cheese, which refers the whimsical notion that the moon is made of green cheese. Rahu, as we know, Hindu deity, he brings or causes eclipse. So these are connected. Something, always there are up and downs in whole life. And through this, there is fickleness that would put out your light in favor of some new man's farthing dip. So no effort, especially such spiritual effort, will go in vain. The culture of society more often inclines to lawn tennis philosophy than to that of banned adepts. So in adepts, they won't argue. If they want to make themselves clear, they discuss the matter. And what in our human society, we go on arguing. My opinion, your opinion, we don't want to leave our opinion. This is a play like in the lawn tennis philosophy. Once we throw a ball in their court, again they throw your ball in your court, and this kind of play is going on. That is what I think he wants to suggest. The culture of our society more often inclines to the lawn tennis philosophy than to that of the banned adepts, whose wider game has worlds for balls and etheric space for its 7 lawn. See, their lawn is etheric space, and whatever balls they send in our court, they are definitely useful, but which needs to be understood, otherwise they may harm us. So the next slide we can read. Of course, we are reading together. If I am mistaken, you can correct it afterwards, because we have to, in two sense, discuss and not argue. So this slide shows the plot of your first book was spiced with the phenomenon to tickle the spiritualistic palate. This second one is a dish of cold philosophy, and in your large section of London society, you will scarcely find enough of the wine of sympathy to wash it down. So as he is speaking, how the discussion is going on, and in your cold philosophy, your large section of London society, you will scarcely find enough of the wine of sympathy to wash it down. Because your book was spiced with phenomenon to tickle the spiritualistic palate. Whatever esoteric philosophy or esoteric Buddhism you have written, it has definitely stimulated. And it has given a, he says, spiritualistic palate. So you can cut a lot of things on it. So many who now think you mildly mad will buy the book to find out if a commission that De Lunatico should issue to prevent your doing more damage. But of all your readers, few are likely to follow your lead towards our ashram. So here the word de lunatic, commission de lunatic, it is such a commission. Of course, it is a commission de lunatic is a legal motion to commit a person to a lunatic. First, you can remark him as a lunatic person, and then you can appoint a legal guardian for him and deal with the legal property of his property. So this is how you may be said mad, what you have written. But of all your readers, few are likely to follow your lead towards our ashram. So there are few people who can understand at this level little bit, And therefore, we have given this through your book. Still, the theosophist's duty is like that of the husbandman's theosophist's duty is like that of the husbandman. What does the husbandman does? Husbandman turn his furrows and sow his grains as best he can. The issue is with nature. And seed is slave of law. So he gives the poetic term here. You are still, the theosophist's duty is to do our work. Like what in a family husband does, he goes to the farm, he furrows and sow the seeds or sow the grains as best as he can, and the whole issue is left to the nature. And nature will take care, because nature is definitely obeying the natural laws. She is the slave of law. This is a very important statement they have given. So next slide, he makes clear, I shall waste no condolences upon the poor lay chelas, because of the delicate weapons they can alone work with us. See, lay chelas are the chelas are the aspirants or disciples who are like the delicate weapons. We cannot suppress them, because they can alone work with us. Therefore, I shall waste no condolences upon the poor lay chelas. See how humility is expressed with these words. A sorry day it would be to mankind if any sharper or deadlier one were put in their unaccustomed hands. Otherwise, these lay chelas, if we, what we can say, suppress them or condemn them or neglect them, they may be then taken by the deadlier one, and they are put in their unaccustomed hands. That danger also they see. You would concur with me, my faithful friend, if you could but see the plaint one of them had just made on account of agonizing results of the poisoned weapons he got the wielding of in an evil hour through the help of a sorcerer. So here again he points out the poisoned weapons we are giving in your hand. They may poison you if you are not purified yourselves. Whatever knowledge we are giving, they may be harmful to your life. In the sense, in society life, it may be harmful, because this is you are wielding these powers because of our influence. As a child plays with its toys, forgetting hunger and bodily pains, in the same manner, a wise man must take pleasure in truth without any kind of egoic malice. That is me and mine. Then only this powerful will be helpful. Otherwise, it will become a evil hour. So, in the last slide, I want to read and then I may explain something. Crushed morally by his own selfish rotting physically from diseases engendered by the animal gratification. He snatched with demon help. Behind him is a black memory of wasted chances and hellish success. Before him, fall of dark despair of Avicii. This wretched man turns his important rage against our starry science and ourselves and hurls his infectual curses at those he vainly designed for more powers in jealousy, and whom he deserted for a necromantic guru, who now leaves the victim to his fate. So these are the certain words which Master has used. So I told in the beginning, 3 replies were given. And they are given because from 3 different sources. The first reply discusses the word subjective, commenting the occultist postulates an ascending scale of subjectivity which grows continuously more real as it gets further and further from illusory earthly objectivity, its ultimate reality, Parabrahma. So 3 reply, especially what happens in Devchana. The author continues, death itself being powerless because severe psychic association, where pure spiritual love links the two, the Devchanic dream is the reality for the Devchani. What it means? The first reply is, what I understood in one of the letters or one of the lectures, HPB says, you cannot see the God unless you believe in the God. So believe in the God is important. Even if you don't believe in the God in the physical life, if you don't pray, if you don't have such kind of living faith in the masters of the wisdom, then in Devchana, you can't even see the masters. But on the other hand, this first reply says, if you really try yourselves hard to meditate and contemplate on the God or the masters or whatever deity you are liking, then there is possibility of seeing him in Devkan. The second reply, which contains such phrases as, in the light of our doctrine says, a monad in Devchan has but one state of consciousness. We speak of different states of consciousness. We speak of consciousness, wakeful consciousness, dream consciousness, sleeping consciousness, even above that Turya consciousness. But the second reply says, a monad in Devchan has but one state of consciousness, which cannot be compared with any other state, and that the intercourse between the monads is real. Intercourse between monad is real, mutual, and as actual in the world of subjectivity, as it is in this our world of deceptive reality. This is what the second reply is given about the Devchan. Third reply state, it is a more intuitively, Buddhistically speaking, there are states and degrees upon degrees in Devchan. Again, this is the third reply. There are states, degrees and degrees in Devchan, in all of which, notwithstanding to us objective isolation of the principal hero. He is surrounded by a host of actions in conjunction with whom he had during his last earth. So whether the three lengthy replies satisfied Massey or were helpful in furthering the Senate's understanding, we don't know. But they do give us today additional information valuable in our efforts to comprehend the nature of a state of consciousness so unlikely our ordinary one. So the theosophist, still the theosophist duty is like that of the husband to turn his furrows and sow his grains as best as he can. The issue is with nature, and she being the slave of laws, she will work out. This is what the message of this letter 111 to AP Senate. I think we must take it to our heart, because I would like to end with the relation between master and disciple. A disciple asked, Master, do I possess a Buddha nature in me? And the master answered, no, you do not. The disciple replies, but I heard that the stones have Buddha nature, the plants have their Buddha nature, animals have their Buddha nature, and all the people have their Buddha nature. And why not myself? The master replied, but you do not have Buddha nature. Again, disciple asked, why? Asked the disciple. Because you are asking. So here, no question asking, just be. Whatever is said, try to understand and contemplate. You will reach to that state. So this is what I would like to comment on this letter number 111, part 1. Thank you very much for hearing silently. Hope I have not taken much time.
Right, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. There's so many messages hidden inside.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your bright exposition on this important letter.
Thank you, Purnamani. Thank you.
Now I request Sister Meenakshi ji for her Hindi exposition on this letter.
नमस्ते सभी को. थैंक यू सिस्टर. थैंक यू ब्रदर शिंदे जी. आज हम क्रोनोलॉजिकल लेटर नंबर 111 ले रहे हैं, जो कि मास्टर के एज एपी सीनेट को जुलाई 1883 में लिखते हैं. मास्टर सीनेट से कहते हैं कि मेरे हमेशा कृपालु अनुग्रहशील लेचेला को चाहे मुझ पर किसी भी खामियों से आरोपित करना हो, ऐसा लगता है कि उसे आनंदित करने का नया कारण देने का वह मुझे श्रेय देगा. थियोसॉफी में आपकी रुचि और केएच में विश्वास के रूप में आप रोमन कैथोलिक पंथ में पड़ जाएंगे. इस सर चार्ल्स टर्नर के गंभीर भविष्य कथन में भी लंदन के खुशनुमा जगत की माया ने आपके प्रचार को कम नहीं किया है. यदि साह का हवाला एओ दिया जाता है तो यह उनके कथन के समर्थन में है कि आपका मस्तिष्क शिकागो के आकाश से अधिभारित है. यह जानना निस्संदेह आपकी दुखी भावना के लिए मरहम होगा कि आप वास्तव में ब्रिटिश तत्व मीमांसकों को हमारे सोच विचारों के करीब आने के लिए सहायक बन रहे हैं। इसलिए यदि मैं आशावान हूँ तो आप अभी के सर्वाधिक प्रसन्नता और निरंतर व्यस्तता की तुलना उस बीते पुराने समय से कर रहे होंगे जब आप अपने महानगर की सड़कों पर घूमते थे, जहां घर ऐसे होते थे जैसे भारतीय स्याही से रंगे हुए हो और दिन की धूप एक यादगार घटना होती हो। शायद यही आपका पुरस्कार है। यह शुरुआत है और अंत आप देवाचन में महसूस करेंगे जब आप सर्वत्र मैली ब्रिटिश चैनल की बजाय सर्वत्र व्याप्त आकाश में मंडराते हुए पाओगे। भले ही यह स्थिति अभी आपके मन चक्षु को धुंधली नजर आती हो, तभी आप स्वयं की अनुभूति स्वयं करेंगे और आत्मनापस्य का सही बोध होगा। महान वेदांत दर्शन के अनुसार स्वयं को तेजस्वी प्रकाशमान जानने के लिए स्वयं का बोध आत्मबोध होने के लिए किसी प्रकाश की आवश्यकता नहीं होती। मिस्टर मेसी के देवाचन के लेख में मुझे जो अस्पष्टता दिख रही है उसे पुनः एक बार दूर करने का प्रयास किया गया है। यह थियोसॉफिस्ट के अगस्त के अंक में दिखाई देगा। संभवतः तब भी अस्पष्टता दूर नहीं होगी। यह हमारा दुर्भाग्य है और मुझे संदेह है कि क्या हम कभी इन अस्पष्टताओं और कथित विरोधाभासों से पूर्णतः मुक्त हो पाएंगे, क्योंकि प्रश्नकर्ता और उत्तरदाताओं को आमने सामने लाने का कोई उपाय नहीं है। फिर भी आपकी ओर से यह संतुष्टि है कि आप मेंबर्स और हमारे बीच महत्वपूर्ण कड़ी का निर्माण कर रहे हैं। आपने अपने नए विचार को आशा के जल से सिंचित करना चाहिए, जिसके अंतर्गत वर्तमान के आंदोलन को एक बहुत ही दुरंदेश प्रेरणा मिलेगी। ब्रिटिश थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी के सदस्यों का सीमित नजरिया है, बल्कि महात्मा गणों का अथांग व्यापक नजरिया है। आपकी पहली किताब ऑकल्ट वर्ल्ड का मजकूर अध्यात्मवादियों को रिझाने के लिए चमत्कारिक घटनाओं से भरा हुआ था। दूसरी किताब एसोटेरिक बुद्धिज्म नीरा दर्शन शास्त्र है और आपके लंदन सोसाइटी में इससे सहानुभूति रखने वाले शायद ही पर्याप्त सदस्य मिलेंगे। आपके पाठकों में से कुछ ही हमारे आश्रम की ओर आपके नेतृत्व में आएंगे। फिर भी एक थियोसॉफिस्ट का कर्तव्य किसान की तरह है, हल जोतना और यथासंभव सर्वोत्तम बीजों को बोना। बाकी सृष्टि पर निर्भर है और वह प्रकृति के नियमों के अधीन। मैं उन अभागे ले चेलाओं के प्रति अपना शोक व्यर्थ नहीं करूंगा, क्योंकि वे ही ऐसे नाजुक हथियारों से सिद्धियों से शक्तियों से काम कर सकते हैं। अगर उनके अप्रशिक्षित हाथों में कोई धारदार या घातक हथियार थमा दिया जाए तो यह मानव जाति के लिए दुखद दिन होगा। आप भी मेरी बात से सहमत होंगे। यदि आप देख पाते कि उनमें से एक ने अभी हाल ही में एक तांत्रिक की मदद से बुरे समय में जहरीले घातक हथियारों के इस्तेमाल के दर्दनाक परिणामों के बारे में शिकायत की, अपने स्वार्थी आवेश के कारण नैतिक रूप से अधपतित राक्षसी मदद से पाशवी वृत्ति के तृप्ति से उत्पन्न बीमारियों से शारीरिक रूप से सड़ रहा है, गंवाए हुए अवसरों और अमानुषिक सफलताओं की भीषण यादें उसके पीछे है, उसके सामने अविची की घनघोर निराशा है। यह दुष्ट व्यक्ति हमारी गुह्य विद्या और हम पर अपना बेबस क्रोध दर्शा रहा है और अपने अप्रभावी शाप उन लोगों पर बरसा रहा है जिन्हें उसने चेलाशिप में अधिक शक्तियों के लिए व्यर्थ में घेरा था और जिन्हें उसने एक तांत्रिक गुरु के खातिर छोड़ दिया था, जिसने अब उस पीड़ित को उसकी नियति पर छोड़ दिया है। थैंक यू। नमस्ते।
Thank you, Meenakshi. Very nicely you gave in Hindi.
Thank you, sister. Now I request Brother Pradeep Mahapatra ji to decide what is the next course of action.
So there is a one question.
Yeah.
Mani Mandillan, she asked, I don't know, but the question is, what is your reply that there is no Buddhahood? So he or she was late in listening you. So kindly repeat that what Mahatma mentioned again.
No, the disciple asked curiously, as he reads the spiritual truth that everybody has got the Buddha nature. Stone has got Buddha nature, plant has got Buddha nature, and he has this theory. And out of curiosity, the disciple asked to the master, Master, am I having Buddha nature? And the master, he was expecting a good answer from the master. Yes, yes, you have a Buddha nature. You have to develop it and you meditate. You do all these things, what to do and what not to do. All these he was expecting. But the reply came, no, you don't have Buddha nature. Then he again asked, why, sir? The plant has Buddha nature, stone has Buddha nature, animals have Buddha nature, all human beings have Buddha nature. And then how do you say I am not having Buddha nature? Then he replied, you don't have Buddha nature because you are asking this question, whether I have Buddha nature or not. And who asked this? The lower mind always is in conflict. It asks the question. The higher mind contemplates, and it is this higher mind which must touch to that Buddha nature. And if you don't leave your lower mind, how can you go to that state? That is what the master wants to reply. That is just in the same way, Shankaracharya also replied when he gave the Upadesh, be still, apart from all the restless waves of thought. And in that stillness, when the mind subsides, there shines a moveless light within the inmost heart. So what in this letter also it is said, the soul light can be seen. You need not have this light, what we have idea of light. That light is the hidden light. That is what I think we can understand. Any other question?
Sir, one more question.
Yes, Madhav Sharma.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaste, namaste.
The third reply states Buddhistically speaking,
Yes.
there are stages and states and degrees in Devachan, which is not followed.
See, Devachan, it is all reply what I am giving, it is a reply in cloud. We don't go on to the Swarga, or we don't remember anything, what happens in the Swarga, what is our connection. Even we don't know what happens in our sleep. Only we go to the sleep. Next day, when we woke up, then we understand that I was sleeping. So this is what the consciousness plays its role in day-to-day life. But in Devachana, in third reply, it is said, there are states of consciousness. There are stages of consciousness. So all these are there still. Yeah. And in that, to which consciousness we meet. because masters are in the highest level of consciousness. And even in Devchan, what level of consciousness we go, we don't know. So that there are again level stages of this consciousness. Nobody can reply. Therefore, these three replies are important. And this last reply is for us actually. There are many stages of consciousness. We can meet those souls which are in tune with us. Otherwise, we can't. As there are vibrational differences, there cannot be tuning. So this is what I think they want to state in this third reply. There are stages and stages and stages of consciousness. If we see the spectrum of consciousness, how it expands, that's all gives the entire knowledge of the vibrational spectrums. This is what I think he want to mean, these stages and stages. And these replies have come from which source we don't know. From three sources, the reply is three sources. Those three replies have come to the epicenter about the Devcha. Thank you, sir. Thank you for asking.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No, now I request Mitali to close with closing prayer.
Harshvardhan want to say something?
Yes. I don't want to add, but one special understanding from my side is very clear in the way that I must add. That is about the obscurities.
Obscurity.
And here, yes. So what the obscurities are understood as the nature of the people or the person who tills the land, who works very hard, who works the uh, for the people around him, for the society, for the welfare of the people. So that means it is the farmer's duty. And he tills the land, but obscurity is still there. And
Yes.
he has to depend upon that obscurity. So that obscurity also remains the same with the mental condition of the theosophist or the person, because here say lay chelas, that word is used specially. He is also connected with obscurity. So is it clear in that way?
Yeah. Lay chelas are not
Yes.
perfect. They are chelas.
Yes.
Only accepted one.
Everything is yes, accepted. So in that way, obscure form is there every time. So in the physical world also, when we think upon certain matters, we remain very obscure.
Yes.
Because everything is practically done. It is just like the experiment which is being done in the laboratory. So there we have to undergo the factual materials and the theoretical ideas. But there also, having no results means it becomes obscure because success as so it's also the same thing which is connected with obscurity. So far as our technical term is used, because here I understand as a technical term.
Good.
So master,
You
Master
can
Tej
you
wants
understood
to.
very well.
This is what I feel, because sometimes if we work very hard, we go with the facts and everything. We have figures, we have everything. We have to state, make others understand, and what we feel, that is also must be understood by others. But obscurities are still there, so that becomes a kind of
He used
imperfection.
foggy also he used. Foggy.
Foggy. Yes,
Foggy also
foggy.
he used. Yeah.
Yes, foggy. And lastly, I want to, whether it is my asking or not, I'm not sure about it. Is there any impact of the Christianity in this particular understanding of the moon concept? Because starry night is there. When starry night is there, it is highly with the Bible. And we have the sunshine everywhere. So that is also our understanding.
Yeah. Whenever the letters are written, those are written for the Western only, actually to
Yeah,
make them clear. And there is the influence of the Christianity on it, no doubt.
right.
But he has also used the Vedanta, Vedantic philosophy, that is the non-duality.
Non-duality.
We are Advaitis.
So I think, yes. So we have this position of the moon, right?
Now,
Full
moon.
moon and no moon day.
No moon. Even
Yes.
he has explained the Rahu, how it.
Right, Rahu.
Oh, the Rahu and Ketu, their influence on the
Yes.
eclipses
Right,
in
right.
our life. So
So it enhances, yes.
it enhances to believe in astrology also.
Ah. Right, astrology also.
It is a science.
Right. The birth of Krishna took place during the no moon time, right? So that was also the starry night, we can say.
No, Harshvardhan, this is unending discussion.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Namaste to all. Om. Asato ma satkamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mriturmang amrutangamaya. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, na kasyid dukhavag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank
Okay,
you,
sir.
Mr. Thank you, Purnamasi,
Thank you.
Pradeep, and all of you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shinde.
Thank you. You attended. Very nice.
Thank you all.
Excellent.